Well, so yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us once again for our latest webinar instalment. This morning, we have got 30 minutes booked in, but it might not take that long, so we might give you some time back into your day. But we're going to be talking to you and launching our new PS offering, which is called Selectec Plus. So we did drop a spoiler of this into our previous webinar, but today is its official launch. So we'll run through what it is, why, the who's, all of that, and how it works. But ultimately, we want you, our resellers, to benefit from all the expertise that we have here at Selectec. And we want, we're positive, that Selectec will be a great extension into your own current expertise. So I've kind of built it up for you, Damien, but you're the one who's going to tell everyone all about it. So over to you.
That's brilliant. You've just covered it. We can actually go now. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. As ever, I don't know how many people are on the call, but if you're taking some time out of your day to come and listen with us, then we're very, very grateful. We know how busy people are. As Diana said, we did throw a spoiler about this into a previous webinar. We're starting to realize it takes a minute for us to get our messages out there and for us to all agree how we're actually going to say it, actually. So we've started putting spoilers into previous things, a bit of a thing. So we did push this in. So I'm trying to get a bit better at these agendas. You'll notice all my agendas are the same. We're just going to tell you why we're doing it, who will be doing it, and for who, what Selectec Plus is all about, how you can do it, and we are going to tinker around with the money bit a little bit to give you a rough idea. And I will say today we are going to be a little bit more rough with that for various reasons that become apparent. But there we go. We've got an agenda, Ben. Actually, how grown up.
We do. We like an agenda, even if it is a bit light around the edges. But that's the best way, I find.
Right, that's everything you need to know. If you know those things, you can crack on. That's what I'm saying. Okay. We have been talking to partners. We have been talking to our reseller community, to our own team, and it's been mentioned on other webinars as well. This is not a spoiler, but this is a thing that Ben and the sales team, supported by the pre-sales team and indeed the post-sales team in Selectec, are really starting to formalize and implement a very much more structured support process through sales and into scoping and delivery within Selectec. This is a thing that if you haven't spoken to your account managers about, if you haven't spoken to Ben's guys and Diane, if you haven't had these guys around the table with you, then get them in, because there's an awful lot of benefits and advantages to what's happening here. Trying to really just formalize the offering, what you can get from us, how it works, and the type of metrics that you can get back from that as well. I think it's, if you want to add anything on that, Ben, or are you comfortable?
No, I'm comfortable with that. I mean, obviously, from the metric side of things, we do have the ability to be able to provide quite a lot of information around these as well, because we have been doing it for a good many years now. We do have the ability to show within our CRM and also our Metabase system, so we're actually be able to show the increase on sales revenue, whatever it may be, or the opportunities. We can tell you whether they're closing, how they're closing, why we're winning them, how we're losing out on, maybe some we're not. So it's a good ability for us to give you a lot of information around that, because we've put a lot of time, a lot of effort into our CRM and our Metabase systems to provide you guys with the ability to see what's going on. So,
but it's safe to say that the general message from us is to be very much more hand in glove and supportive of opportunities and projects, and really making sure that if you do the hard work of finding those opportunities, we will do absolutely anything we can to convert as many of them with you. We're
100%.
realizing that the hardest thing nowadays is to actually find those opportunities. And so for us to be able to really just maximize any opportunity, and also to keep making sure that you can secure any revenues, any opportunities from your existing base by expanding on product. Now, why am I mentioning this? Because this was about support. This wasn't about sales. Well, the simple piece is that this isn't supposed to be just half of the story. We realized we needed to really support everything end to end. And once the magic has happened, once the deal is done, the ink is dry, the money's paid, we wanted you to be able to make sure that you could offer the support that delivers right the way through that story. And there's a lot of reasons for this. There's a lot of us needing to bring new things to the portfolio, to delve into new technologies, to offer new things out to the market, and to be able to empower our resellers to take those products forward or even to be able to answer into tenders and agreements and different things that we might want to offer you, but make sure that we can give you an easy on ramp or a financially simple model so you can deliver those things forward. And that's really what we're talking about, is taking Ben's and the sales teams. I keep saying Ben, but it's actually everybody else does the hard work. Ben just sort of steers it from the
It's
back.
just because you can see my face, Damo, that's all it is. But there is a whole team behind us, so don't worry about me, worry about the team.
Places behind him, they are literally behind that curtain in the corner. That's
Yeah, they're locked in the shed.
exactly. So the idea is that we can really support those opportunities, but this now continues right the way through our world famous support network that comes in. And this is Selectec Plus, is continuing that piece. Now, a little bit, now I'm sure we've got a mixed audience on here. We've got our wonderful resellers from around England, around the Nordics, I suspect, but also some of our wonderful OEMs. Now, guys, today the focus of this particular thing is around direct support for resellers, but there will be and is a very specific offering that's coming out to OEMs for resell and sell through. We'll talk about how those things work as well. So if you're on from an OEM, listen to what we've got to say and then park a pin and just make sure you're talking to Diane or Ben or Lee or one of the sales guys about how it works for you and what opportunities it brings. And what's very important, guys, is if you're getting that fantastic support from your OEM already, this is not about replacing that. This is about supporting an existing offering for you. We do love our OEMs. We definitely want to work with those guys. Okay, why are we doing this? I thought I'd actually go a little bit, I don't know, it's sort of, yeah, it's a bit cheesy actually.
We love it.
The reason, guys, is what we've realized, as Ben mentioned, and why I asked him to speak at the beginning here, is that we really have over certainly the last year, it's been a very massive, very fast change to change the amount of data, the amount of metrics, the amount of things that we understand about our deals and how they work and the products that we sell. And what we've realized is where we can simplify the approach to opportunities, where we can make sure there's a very clear picture about how those opportunities are delivered, how they're supported. There's a nice, simple financial model for that. We gain more success. And that, of course, if we're gaining success, then it means that our resellers are actually selling more because, of course, we are that distribution arm. And generally, I will say, if we're making money, our resellers are making more money than us. And that's a good thing. We love that. We want you guys being happy. So why are we expanding this offering? Quite simply because the numbers tell us that where we offer an underpin support from the very beginning right through to the very end and for the life of the contract, actually we're getting more success. And that's ultimately what we're all here for, right? Okay, Selectec Plus, getting down to the bones of it, is a break fix support offering which you guys can offer directly to your customers. It's that simple. It's offering our end user support directly out to your customers, and a very, very simple mechanism. So expanding on what you can do. Now, there's going to be a focus about the products, but why would an organization start to do this? Well, it might be because the technologies that we're pushing into can be a little bit new. They can be a little bit scary. And we are fortunate. We're funded and we've spent time playing with AI, playing with capture, playing with APIs, playing with data, playing with these things. So we have expertise that you guys, perhaps because your core businesses are very, very focused, it's a little bit difficult and a little bit alarming to get into those pieces. It's not to say that you don't want to go there, but you might want to take some time, and we want to give a measured mechanism to do that. It might be quite simply that you're enormously busy, and that's great. Actually, we're seeing quite a lot of activity around the channel right now. People are really busy. So being able to support those customers that want something different, want something new, it's a massive time overhead and something you might not be able to deliver on as comfortably as you might like. So it's just easier to offsite that again with a simple model. Or a bit like me at the end, you might be just a little bit too zen, don't need the stress, want somebody who knows how to do it. Yeah. So again, doesn't matter what the reasons are, and there are lots of them, a commercially simple delivery of support that you can trust with a well-resourced team is what we're basically offering there, getting rid of any of those stress points. Okay, right, let's get properly onto what is it. We used to have a thing called SSP, all right, and before that it was called something else and something else and something else. Okay, so this is not entirely new, but like I say, if you want a new idea, go to the museum. So SSP, or Selectec Support Plus as it was known, was a direct support model that some of our resellers took on. So we have experience in this. We've been doing this for a while. And of course, most of those resellers out there know that we support you anyway. And hopefully that's an experience you enjoy with the Slack channels, with the Zendesk, with all of the good stuff that we've been offering. And SSP was offered and has been offered for some time. But the thing about this, do you like my Stonehenge thing, Ben?
I love it. It's brilliant. I think it definitely shows the old versus the new. I like it.
It's going to take me ages to go down there and scrub that white paint off, though, because they really are. Anyway.
Yeah, did they know you do that? The druids will get very angry.
Nobody likes the ire of an angry druid, let me tell you, especially in Somerset. Right. SSP, Selectec Support Plus, as it was. We are, of course, if you cut us in half, in the middle it's green, right? We love a bit of paper cut, and SSP was focused on supporting paper cut. And we're pretty good at it. We know a thing. So we've been doing it successfully for a while. And this was Selectec Support Plus. Okay, this was as was. Now, our wonderful Rob, if you've not met Rob, give him a ring. He's a really nice guy. He knows lots of stuff. Okay. And Rob said, the customers that take on Selectec Support Plus seem to have a less stressful time looking after complicated installations. And we went, that's a good thing, Rob. So Rob said, we should definitely expand that offering. So the real kicker, guys, for Selectec Plus is that lovely direct end user level support. If you want it to be delivered that way, now it is expanded across the paper cut stuff. Still very much a big core focus for us and you, of course. And growing into those technology, we talk about what that means, but we're now bringing Folder, the mighty Folder engine, with all the stuff that sits with that, MASH and capture engines and AI and all of the wonderfulness that we've talked about in previous webinars. The hugely powerful Square 9 portfolio with global capture, global search, global action, global forms in SaaS, on-prem, all of the stuff that sits behind this massive ECM powerhouse, that is there. The fantastic scan share for very powerful workflow, device-driven capture, some AI in there. We're offering end user support on that as well. And if you want to understand more about your fleet, then we're talking about remote fleet management via KPAX and KPAX Manage as well. So the real story here, guys, the big and very simple message is we now offer direct end user support, okay, to our resellers for all of these products with a real focus on IIM, EDM, capture, pick an acronym. We could even make up an acronym. That's just TLAs. Yeah?
TLA. We love a TLA.
All right. This is what Selectec Plus is, guys. It's the ability for you guys to get involved in these type of projects and opportunities and know that for a fixed cost, you can have end user support with SLAs and all of the lovely ticketing and stuff that goes behind it. So this is effectively what it is, Ben. So
yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say this plays in really nicely to the thing that Damien mentioned earlier on, which is the sort of new, I'm not even going to say new because we've been doing it for a long time, but the way that we're trying to interact with our resellers and our partners. We want to be able to offer you guys everything that Selectec has to offer from a technical, sales, demonstration, whatever it may be point of view. This is not us trying to take something away from you. We want to be able to equip you guys with the ability to be able to support these customers, these opportunities, if that is the way you want your business to work.
Exactly. Now, important, I keep interjecting here with this, if this is stuff you can do already, feel free to keep doing it already. We're still going to be doing the same level of support and cleverness that we've always offered you. If you want us to be able to step in and help those end users for any of the reasons that we might have discussed a minute ago, then this is the new offering. It's not only limited to paper cut now. You can now get full back-end support on the range of products sat in front of you. And who knows, we may even expand on this depending on how Selectec Plus is received and how.
And this has all come, guys, from conversations with the resellers, with the partners, with the channel. This is not something that we've just come up with off the top of our head. It's been alongside conversations that we've been having with our ecosystem, with our partners. This is what has been asked for, and this is what we put together to try and bring that to it. So it's a question of working with the channel, finding out what it is that they need to help them to grow, to push forward, and to not be what's the word, to not go after the opportunities, to not leave money on the table. That's what we're trying to offer here.
And the numbers tell us that when we do this, or when we offer this, resellers have more scope to engage with more opportunities. So we're not doing this just because it's a laugh, although we do like a laugh. We're doing this because the numbers tell us if we can underpin you, if we can give you services that kind of take some of the fear out of it, give you a number, which means you know what your costs are, then that actually makes the sales process and the support process more manageable, gives you an on-ramp even. So there's different reasons you might do it. Okay, so this isn't an exclusive list of everything, or an exhaustive list, sorry, of everything that Selectec Plus involves. We'll talk about where you go next steps, but again, if this is a thing you want to understand, then you need to get one of those account managers, and possibly one of our technical guys, might even be the mighty Rob Hood himself, you never know, to come on down and have a chat with you about how this aligns. But some of the things that when you get a copy of our lovely shiny PDF about it, we'll talk about how we can help pre-scope opportunities for you. I've put this one in bold because it's really important. Supported statements of works, where we take on projects, where we take on support, will actually be writing and authoring those supported statements of works. You will know, your customer will know, and you'll be able to see and refer to that at any point. And this really is key to how we're building our own systems, our own automations, which ironically we're doing with our own product. So, you know, if you want to know how we're doing that as well, this could be useful. Okay, there is a dedicated support line. There is, you know, all of the things you might expect about ways to get in touch with us. It includes product grades. It can include health checks to make sure that we're making sure that things are up to date and ready to rock and roll. We can talk about how implementations and ongoing support can be delivered, and we can even really deliver those aftercare pieces. So as a project rolls forward and steps from a sale into delivery into support, you'll be able to plot with us which bits we do, which bits you do, which bits the customer needs us to do. And of course, you can have this as a default setup, or you can talk to us per project depending on what you need to achieve. The nice bit is that Rob and the guys have decided that this is just some of the things that they're going to include in that Selectec Plus support. As we said, your customers can come direct to us. You might decide that you still want to triage the calls. You can keep that relationship how you want. But if needs be, we can scale that right the way through. And like we said, this isn't a replacement for your existing support. So if you are buying product via an OEM and you have a really nicely resolved, we know those guys do a lot of work to support you. This isn't to rip that out or replace that. It's to work with it. It's to give everybody a bit more flexibility. So there will be a dedicated telephone number for it. There is a dedicated Slack channel for it. There is a specific email address for those tickets when they come in. We can identify the customers. We know where they are. So again, you guys can get some information about what's happening in your customer base. And because we're nice, we're going to work all week. We're going to go Monday to Friday, excluding public holidays. So again, you can list this and decide where you want to go. If you want anything outside of that, talk to Rob, talk to your account manager, talk to something else, because we might be able to assist with other things as well. So it's quite simple. You've got a phone line for your customers now. You've got an email. You can even have a Slack channel. You can call us from Monday to Friday. You know what's what, and you know what the products are. Kind of easy, right?
It's worth mentioning here as well, guys, is that this is being developed from a licensing point of view as well. So those emails that are coming in and those phone calls that are coming in, we do have a way of checking if they are going to be part of the Selectec Plus side of things. So we will be able to facilitate that, and there is a whole process. As you can imagine, Rob's very good at putting in implementing processes and making sure that everything works very, very well and very, very cleanly. So there is a process in place for us to check with regards to customers, and also there are always like Damien said, case by case basis. If there's support that needs to be done outside of those hours, those days, and things like that, we have the ability to talk to you guys about that. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Cheers. All right, who's doing it? not going to go through the org chart, but if you're on this call, the odds are you've met some of us before. There are a couple of key highlights where we might, where you might want to think about having this frontline team. From that perspective, I mentioned earlier about available time or available expertise just to be in specialist areas that you might not. A couple of real headlines in there, of course. If you've met the likes of Big Nick Keane, if you've met PW2 there, Paul Williams, Matt Black, these guys really know the underside of, the belly of the beast in terms of the infrastructure of those products. And of course, if you've had any time with Andy, Nick, myself, in terms of those IIM, EDM capture type products, we really are climbing over those things all day. And I'm not going to say most importantly because I'm biased because I work with the guys, but really importantly, you'll see names like Scott Malley and Matt Green. It's a thing for us to have development level resource on the front line of support. Okay, so we can and are much more comfortable supporting some of those integrations. The idea is that you get a much better support story with customization with IIM, ECM stuff. We really do get a lot of feedback that changes or issues take a long time to resolve potentially on other products. We want to be able to ensure that the right skills get to the front line very quickly. So Selectec Plus, in no uncertain terms, is about getting that level of support to you fast. So making sure you've got a good story. If you haven't met these guys, actually go spend a bit of time on it. Get them on Slack, have a chat, give them a ring. They're all there and they've all got a bunch of stuff. In fact, just because he really enjoys this stuff, make sure you phone Rob, because he didn't show up to the call. So any questions, phone Rob. No, that's not true, but you get.
Just be prepared for a certain amount of sarcasm when you speak to these guys, because sarcasm is their second and some of them potentially first language. So
language. Yeah, most of our guys code in sarcasm. Okay. All right. Why are we, again, I want to talk about where we've seen some benefits. Like I said, and as Ben has underpinned, the reason we're doing this is because we have seen the results. We've been looking at, right, like you guys, how do we improve our business? How do we improve our close ratio? How do we make sure things stay sticky? Once we've got them, they stay got, that kind of stuff. All right. One of the things we've been trying to do, or one of the really key things we've been trying to do over the last couple of 3 years, is build out that portfolio. Not because we don't love our paper cut, because we do, but what we've realized is if we've got a customer, if we've got other things we can sell that customer, it's a really good thing to make extra revenue. So the more we get from it, if we can extract from a customer, the happier they are, the happier we are, the happier you guys are. So if we're making money, you're making more. That's an important message for us. But we've also realized that just because we sell it doesn't mean you can onboard it. It's complicated taking on a new product, training people, doing all these things. Sometimes it's easier to do that more organically. We'd like to play in the IIM space, but actually the investment for something that's going to take a while to start to pay out, Selectec Plus is going to give you the ability to do that. Fixed cost to deliver those services. And then as your install base grows, as that revenue set grows, you can see where that tipping point is and start to invest in training, knowledge, understanding. It's an organic way to enter a new market and make it easier for you to onboard our products. And that's really important and one of the massive drivers for us in this. Okay, bridging those portfolio gaps. I don't like reading a list, but this one's quite important for us. We built a portfolio of products which works end to end. Everything talks to everything and everything can work together. And that means very often that we'll have projects where we can actually say, we know that you have this product on the portfolio and you don't always use this product. But if we included this product in this project, it would be commercially stronger for you, it would be technically stronger for you, and it would give you more opportunity. Now, you might not want to onboard a product for a specific project. So Selectec Plus will allow you to use those products in the instances that you need to without twisting your entire support offering out. Okay. Like I said, organic planning. I love it. That's a difficult phrase to say. Organic planning. If I'm starting by buying those services from us, I can start to see where my tipping point of customers is to start to bring those services in-house should I want to. Again, use this in line with your already wonderful service. If you're delivering great service on PaperCut, if you're delivering great service on other capture tools, keep doing that. But if you'd like to dip your toe, you now don't have any of the risk of those outstanding support needs and stuff going on. Okay, this one's a biggie. contract planning. Yeah, you can turn around and offer the support dev level resources, you know, the existing, you know, dedicated telephone lines, email addresses, all the stuff that you might want to be able to write into tenders, and you know how much it's going to cost. So if you're actually trying to go for contract or you know, tender responses, it's a very simple mechanism to be able to go, well, I know it's going to cost no more than that. It's done. Yeah. So this is about empowering that sales offering as much as it is about giving you more support resource, because it might just simply be that, guys. You're doing really, really well, and it's kind of hard to recruit people with the right knowledge really quickly. So if you're trying to grow, this is a fast way to get delivery and expansion of your services offering. So I should have put that one in there as well. Okay. Right. Couple of other little notes. Things that we know that we're going to ask. Now you know that it's cheaper than a burger. Okay. Can I buy multiple years? Yes, you can. We want you to be able to license your products in advance. We want you to be able to buy support in advance. And if you do buy the support, you know that the cost is going to remain the same because you bought it in advance. All right. So contract planning becomes super simple. Do I need to use any other processes from Selectec? No, because we're going to do the heavy lifting. If there's questions to ask, we will ask you, and we will put all of the details that we need to do and make sure, as Ben said, that we are tracking the licenses and the good stuff into our back-end systems to make this work. There are SKUs, and they will be on a price book. So quite simply, with SSP, you will start to see that we're including SSP on all of our quotes. So you know that it's there, so you can have that licensing tidied up straight away at point of order should you want to. You just order it through the normal channels. And hopefully that's an easy and happy process because we get good feedback about our SOP. So we've decided to just keep using it. So there we are. All right. What are you going to do next? Your account manager is going to bother you. Okay, they are going to get on the phone or knock on the door. I mean, Diane's very keen. She's probably stood outside a dealer right now. All right, that's probably how it's going. But these guys need to come and talk to you about where that you might want to use this, and also does this impact the choice of products that you might want to take from our portfolio and so on. So the next step, Ben, the guys are going to be reaching out, I would imagine, over the coming month to get into the resellers, get into you guys to decide where we want it to go. And we are talking about this being very specific, very targeted into what you want to do. Like we said, this is a supplementary offer to what you do. It's about making it stronger. So we are going to talk, as it says there in the second line, about which Selectec Plus you want us to talk about, which products you'd like to explore with it. Because we do find when we bring this to the table with resellers, they suddenly say, oh, cool. Well, does that mean I can look at this, or I can look at that, or I can look at other things? And that then drives sales activity as well, Ben, because we're then open to talk to salespeople about that whole process and so on and so on. So it's a big deal. This is a thing.
It certainly is. Absolutely is.
Once those guys have done that, or when they arrive along with the donuts, they're going to bring the collaterals, they're going to talk about the support mapping, give you the right telephone numbers, talk about the SKUs, the price points, how it works on our quotes, because we are planning to put SSP, or not SSP, oh, sorry.
Oh, you've done it. It's been recorded as well. Rob's going to have...
There's been a few slip-ups, but I haven't pointed them out.
We'll edit it out, Damien. We'll edit it out, don't worry.
Nothing to see here. Right. Selectec Plus, okay? Once it's support map, then all of the collaterals, who you need to talk to, what you need to do, that's there. And then once you've got access to all of our portfolio, once your support offering is no longer scary, once you've got the sales process, sell, guys. This is literally about underpinning sales, underpinning deals, making sure everybody can roll on into our next financial year, which starts next year, ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Today was literally just to say, we now support the products that we want you to be able to onboard, and our channel map across that as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so please reach out, ask any questions. You can quickly drop it in the chat. I'll stay on for a couple of minutes if you do have questions. If not, then yeah, thank you for joining us. Please get in touch with myself, Lee, your channel manager, Damien, whoever's phone number you've got at Selectec. Please do use it, get in touch with us, and we can, like we said, we can come along, chat to you about everything on our portfolio, all our service and support offerings, and we can bring donuts too, which is always a sweetener. So yeah, please use our expertise, and any questions, do get in touch.
Other snacks are available, but we like donuts quite a lot.
We do like donuts. Who doesn't like donuts?